Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Dr. Vinod Tiwari, Dr. Shaili Singhal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, Rector and Dean, Faculty of Doctoral Studies and Research, Dr. Santosh Dhar, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, Dr. Brijesh Pare, President, Association of Chemistry Teachers, Dr. D.V. Prabhu, Honorary Secretary, Association of Chemistry Teachers, Dr. K.N. Gurprasad, Director, SVIS and Head, Department of Chemistry, Dr. Kavita Sharma, Professor, Department of Chemistry and Coordinator of this IUPAC Global Women's Breakfast, GWB-2024, Dr. Venkateshan Jayakumar, Co-Coordinator, GWB-2024, all the HOIs, HODs and other delegates. On behalf of Department of Chemistry, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, I, Dr. Ujjwala Daswani, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, feel highly privileged to welcome you all in IUPAC Global Women's Breakfast 2024. The goal of the GWB series is to establish an active network of people from different domains to catalyze diversity in science. As science knows no country, because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world. With these efforts, we hope to ignite the zeal of diversified topics of science in the minds of science lovers. Following our tradition, let us take the choicest blessings of Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, through virtual lamp lighting to make this webinar a successful one. For this, I request technical team to please do the needful. Thank you. In Indian culture, we have learned to show respect and generous hospitality to the guest with all our hearts. For this, I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Upinder Dhar to welcome guest speakers Shri Nilesh M. Desai, Director, Distinguished Scientist, Space Application Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Director, CSIR, National Institute of Science, Communication and Policy Research, New Delhi, Dr. Vinod Tiwari, Professor, Organic Chemistry, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, and Dr. Shaili Singhal, Professor, Department of Chemistry, UPES, Dehradun. Thank you. To know more about the IUPAC Global Women's Breakfast GWB 2024 on catalyzing diversity in science, I would like to invite Dr. Kavita Sharma, Professor, Department of Chemistry. Over to you, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Ujla. Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Rupinder Dhar sir. Guests, Shri Nilesh M. Desai, Director, Distinguished Scientist, Space Application Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad. Dr. Ranjana Agrawal, Director CSIR, National Institute of Science, Communication and Policy, New Delhi. Dr. Shelly Singhal, Professor, Department of Chemistry, UPES, Dehradun. Dr. Vinod Tiwari, sir, Professor, Department of Chemistry, BHU. Professor D.V. Prabhu, General Secretary, ACT, Wilson College, Mumbai. Professor Brijesh Pare, President ACT, Madhav Science College, Ujjain. Dr. Santosh Dhar, Rector and Dean FDSR. Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad, Dean Sciences, Director SEIS. Dr. Venkateshan Jayakumar, Coordinator of this event. HOIs, HODs, faculty members, participants, and dear students. On behalf of Department of Chemistry, Shri Vaishnav Institute of Science, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, I express my deepest regards to all of you for your gracious presence and welcome you all. Today, Department of Chemistry with Association of Chemistry Teachers is organizing 3rd IUPAC Global Women's Breakfast GWB-2024 on catalyzing diversity in science. I would like to thank eminent speakers of today's program for accepting our invitation to share their knowledge and experiences. As we all know that science is all about finding new solutions to big problems. And the best way to do that is by bringing together people with different backgrounds, perspectives, and ideas. That's why diversity is all about. Today, we are here to catalyze change. We are here to catalyze diversity in science. It means recognizing and addressing the systemic biases and structural inequalities that hinder the full participation of women in scientific pursuits. It means creating an inclusive environment where women feel empowered to pursue their passions and contribute their unique insights to the scientific community. It's essential to understand that diversity goes beyond mere representation. It's about creating a culture of belonging where every individual, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, or background, feels valued, respected, and supported in their scientific endeavors. It's about fostering an environment where everyone has an equal opportunity to thrive and succeed. Let us take a moment to reflect on the remarkable achievements of women scientists throughout history, from Marie Curie to Rosalind Franklin, from Ada Lovelace to Katherine Johnson. Women have made significant contributions to every field of science, often in the face of immense adversity. Their stories serve as a testament to the resilience, tenacity, and brilliance of women in science. However, celebrating past achievements is not enough. We must also confront the persistent challenges and barriers that women continue to face in STEM fields today. From implicit bias and gender stereotypes to lack of representation in leadership roles and unequal access to resources and opportunities. The obstacles are numerous and multifaceted. But despite these challenges, women in science persevere. They defy expectations, break down barriers, and shatter glass ceilings. They are role models, mentors, and inspiring future generations of women to pursue their passions and dreams in STEM. As we enjoy this breakfast together, Let us also engage in meaningful conversations and actions to drive change. Let us commit to fostering an inclusive and equitable scientific community where diversity is not only celebrated but embraced as a source of strength and innovation. In closing, I urge each and every one of you to be representative of change in your respective spheres of influence. Whether you are a student, educator, researcher, policymaker, or industry leader, you have the power to make a difference. Let us work together to catalyze diversity in science and create a future where every woman's voice is heard and every contribution is valued. Thank you very much. Happy learning. Over to you, Leela.
Thank you, ma'am. It is my great pleasure to invite Dr. K.N. Gurprasad, Director, SVIS and Head, Department of Chemistry, for the welcome address. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rujla. Our distinguished guests today in this meeting, Shri Nilesh Desai, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Dr. Shaili Singhal, and Dr. Vinod Tiwari. On behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, I welcome you all to this meeting. I also welcome the directors, heads of the department, staff members, and students who have joined this meeting. This women's breakfast, I understand, started globally somewhere around 2011, started by chemists and women chemists to connect people all around and also to discuss the problems of women scientists. I wonder whether the initial meetings were to discuss the problems of women scientists or problems of chemistry. But nevertheless, the diversity which has to include the diversity in people probably started first with less representation of women scientists in various fields. Now it has extended, and it is not limited to women alone. Now the diversity is being studied about how many ethnic groups, how many races are also included in each scientific endeavor. Now we are talking about diversity because the recent researches show us that diversity increases innovation in science. Now that's the basic understanding for the theme which has been selected for this year, that is diversity, catalyzing diversity in science. When chemists say catalyzing, that means the reaction is very slow and you need a catalyst to increase the speed of the reaction in the chemical terms. That also means that we are not diversified enough in our scientific groups to tackle the problems of science. And it is now being recognized as a necessity for dealing with problems in science. There is already a diversity in the scientific problems themselves, in the sense that with the changing times, the changing climates, the changing socioeconomic structures, they themselves bring new scientific problems for study. Means the scientific problems themselves get diversified with time. That's what we have seen all through the centuries. But the approach, when Global Women's Breakfast talks about diversity, it is the diversity of the approach to the problem. The problems are already diversified, but how are we approaching it? If we do not have a diversified team to approach the problem, maybe we may not get best of the innovations and we may not get best of the solutions. That is what the present understanding is about diversity and the need for including diversity in science. We have a lot of experts to talk about this, so I take this opportunity to welcome all of you on behalf of the university and also on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Inder Dar, for this meeting. And we look forward to have more ideas about diversity in science from all our guest speakers. Thank you. Over to you, Vijla.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your earnest welcome address. Diversity truly adds value. In view of this, our first speaker, we have with us Shri Nilesh M. Desai. Shri Nilesh M. Desai is a distinguished scientist. He has led the Space Application Center, SEC, of the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, since January 2021. Mr. Desai has excelled academically, graduating as a top-ranking student in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Sir has embarked on his professional journey at SEC ISRO in 1986, specializing in microwave remote sensing. Over his 35-year career, he has spearheaded the design and development of several critical spaceborne instruments, including radar systems for Earth observation, navigation, and communication. He has played key roles in missions like RISAT-1, Chandrayaan-2, and various communication satellites, elevating India's space capabilities. Mr. Desai's contribution extend beyond technical excellence. He has actively promoted indigenous navigation technologies, represented ISRO internationally, and championed outreach initiatives to engage students in space science. His research interests span digital signal processing, hardware design, and software quality assurance. Mr. Desai has shown tremendous dedication and leadership in the professional world. We wish you continue to add more feathers and endeavors to shape India's space exploration. I would like to request Shri Nilesh M. Desai, sir, to address the audience with your diversified knowledge. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Urja. And let me welcome all my co-panelists here for this webinar, as well as the hosts, Dr. Urja, Dr. Kavita Sharma ji, Dr. Upendra Dharji, Dr. Guru Prasad ji, for inviting me. Maybe I feel that I am a misfit among, generally I start in a lighter note that among all the doctors available here, I am the only patient, being non-doctor here. So once again, let me thank all of you for inviting me here. And as far as the topic goes, as Sir, as Guru Prasad ji has already pointed out, the IUPAC breakfast, the global woman related activities and catalyzing diversity in science. So all of
Sir, you are not audible.
you are well aware that ISRO is more.
Yes, sir, please continue.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I was trying to tell was that ISRO is well known as a very highly technology intensive organization. So talking about science, you may be surprised to know that we also do lot many scientific activities, and especially as far as chemistry is concerned, my association with chemistry is very limited, having studied chemistry in the school and colleges at the initial level. And generally when we conduct various promotional reviews, I ask questions related to the IUPAC names of various compounds, mixtures and other things. So that is the only association. But I'll talk about all these aspects. So as I was mentioning, although we are a
Sir, you are not audible.
highly technology intensive organization, science and other associated sciences. Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
So what I was trying to say is that although we are a technology intensive organization, we have our share of activities related to science and especially related to space science. And many of the activities we do related to our rocket technologies, it involves a lot of development related to various composites as well as polymers and various compounds. So that involves a lot of activities related to chemistry in particular, as well as material science. So we have our share of activities related to that. Uh, as far as
Sir, you are not audible.
His audio is breaking at times.
women are concerned in ISRO, as various ISRO activities are concerned. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, Ujla, can you please call him and
Sure, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
is it better or?
Yeah, sir. Now it's
sir,
audible.
your audio is breaking at times.
Yeah, maybe due to distance. So we have our share of women force in ISRO. Around 30% of our women scientists are women, and we are striving to achieve the goal of 50% of our scientists being women scientists. So that is.
Nilesh, sir, you are not audible.
नमस्कार
The activity which we have taken up as various other activities are concerned. Just that let me fix up that and call my tech. हाँ उनको बोलो मैं ऑडियो फिक्स कर रहा हूँ तब तक दूसरे स्पीकर पे हूँ ऐसा बोलो
Kavita ma'am, shall we proceed to the next speaker, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
As a common saying by Elizabeth Holmes, I believe in the unlimited power of women in the context of science and engineering. To corroborate the saying, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Shelley Singhal. Dr. Shelley Singhal is a highly accomplished academician with strong background in chemistry and a focus on waste management, renewable energy, and catalysis. She obtained her BSc and MSc degrees from CCS University Meerut, excelling with gold medals and high percentage. Dr. Singhal earned her PhD from the same university, specializing in organometallic compounds. With over 24 years of teaching experience, Dr. Singhal has earned several accolades for her contributions. Notably, she received awards such as the Swachhata Champion Award and recognition from the Government of Uttarakhand for her service during the COVID-19 pandemic. She was also named Teacher of the Year 2021 and has been recognized as a Women Star Achiever in Waste Management. Dr. Singhal has undertaken scientific research projects, securing substantial funding from prestigious organizations like MNRE. Her patents include innovations in detecting harmful chemicals, laboratory filtration, and extracting cellulosic materials from waste. She has published 60 research papers and supervised 4 PhD students, demonstrating her expertise in the field. Currently, Dr. Singhal is focusing on waste to wealth strategies, including chemical recycling and pyrolysis of waste fabrics and developing hydrophobic materials for oil-water separation, showcasing her commitment to sustainability and innovation. I would like to request Dr. Shelley Singhal ma'am to please address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Ujjwala. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. And it is a wonderful day when we all have gathered here to celebrate the UN Day for Women and Girls in Science. Can I share my screen from here?
Yes, ma'am, you can try.
I'll just give me a while, please.
Sure, ma'am.
Is my screen visible, Dr. Ujjwala?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much for such a nice introduction of mine, Dr. Ujjwala. I am Dr. Shelley Singhal. As she has introduced me to the gathering, I am a chemist. I am an academician, researcher, and I have been into academics for more than 26 years now. And my main domains in which I work include renewable energy, basically biogas, then catalysis and waste management and recycling. And being a chemist, as Dr. Kavita has also mentioned, Dr. Nilesh has also mentioned just now, being a chemist, I have been into IUPAC for a long period of time. And today it is my privilege that I am speaking as one of the panelists in an event hosted by, owned by IUPAC. I thank the organizers also who provided me this opportunity to be the part of this prodigious forum. I'm indeed grateful to IUPAC for taking such an important issue of gender equalization to the platform, which gives us the opportunity to find out the problems, to find out the solutions which can bring up the people in equality. Because as if we see today also, women are also considered into minority when we talk about science and technology and research. And according to a report of United Nations also, gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but it is a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Just now, Shri Nilesh ji told us that they have around 30% workforce as women, and it was really wonderful to know that still they have 30% ladies in their organization, and they are expecting it to be increased to 50%. However, if we see globally, the situation is not very good, as largely on an average, if we talk, 30% researchers only are women. And if we look at the national academies, and when we talk about the members into those academies, hardly 12% are women out of the total. And same is the situation with our country. Still today, the situation has changed a lot, but still only 15% participation is there from ladies. The reasons are many. The reasons may be the family constraint, it may be the mindset, it may be the pay gap, it may be the these multiple reasons can be there, but the situation is this. And here in the left corner, this data I have received from a very reliable source. And here, being a chemist, I was really surprised to see that in 2012, the INSA fellowships which were awarded, out of total 118 applications, only one woman was awarded this fellowship. So actually, this is a matter of concern which we all have to cater together with our combined efforts. Currently, worldwide, great forums are working in this dimension. IUPAC definitely is here. It is owning this whole event. United Nations is there, UNESCO is there. And along with these three organizations, I would like to mention here about TWAS and OWST. TWAS is the word of science. And this academy, this organization works wonderfully for the equality in science when we talk about the gender biasness. And similar is the contribution from Organization of Women in Science for the Developing World. I was going through this organization the other day, and I came to know that over 9,000 ladies are the members of this wonderful group across the globe. So this kind of forums, when these are working together, definitely means change has to happen. And similar kinds of efforts are there also in our country. We have a separate Ministry for Women and Child Welfare. We have separate schemes for DST and DBT. We have, I would say we are privileged that we are given the opportunities. We have been facilitated with various amenities and all the kinds of requirements, so that we are standing here and we are sharing our thoughts here. But still, if we see, the situation is not same for all the women as on date also. So our government is also putting a lot of effort to facilitate us to cherish our achievements also. I myself have been awarded as the Star Achiever. Here I have put my certificate also. This was an international contest which was held by the Institution of Green Engineers on Women's Day in 2021. And in the waste management category, I have received this. So multiple efforts are taking place in this dimension, and these combined efforts are definitely changing the world gradually. Here we can change the scenario. We can see the change in the scenario. If we look from 1975 and till 2006, there has been a tremendous growth in the number of women in STEM areas, considering all technology, all sciences, research, development, etc. And this is the database which I could receive from DST website only. Here, if we look at in the period of 12 years only, around 10 to 12 years only, there has been an increase in the number of women who are leading the R&D projects. However, the number is lesser than the male PIs, but still growth is there. So, with the combined efforts of various stakeholders, including government, NGOs, and the organizations and the forums like IUPAC, the initiatives are there, and these are turning into the outcomes. So, keeping all these things into place, cherishing all these movements, we are today embracing this day of women and science, women in science. And here I would definitely like to touch upon few success stories of our great scientists before I come to my own domain. She is Dr. Alka Jadgoankar. She is a chemist, and she has been a faculty of Raisoni College in Nagpur, Maharashtra. today, when we are talking about plastic waste, different categories of waste, and at every institute, I believe, at small scale or at large scale, researches are going on, especially for managing the plastic waste. She is the first lady of India who has done this thing in 1999 while she was doing her doctorate. So she converted this plastic waste into fuel, and in around 2005, she has established a complete plant of around 5 metric ton capacity at Nagpur for handling this waste and converting it to various categories of fuels. And the most beautiful thing which I find about her plant is that when we talk about plastic waste in particular, normally we categorize the waste, like we can readdress the PET bottles, we can readdress PP, we can readdress this particular kind of plastic. This cannot be recycled. But the beauty of this plant, which she has established at Nagpur, is that this plant can address all the categories of waste. So in 1999, she has done this miracle. Similarly, after going through the pandemic of COVID, I cannot believe if we are not aware of this wonderful group of women who strenuously worked and saved our life, taking their own lives at risk. So these all are our women scientists. And so we have a big list of our women scientists in history. We had Dr. Anandibai Gopal Rao Joshi, who has been the first medicine doctor of India. And we can see the duration, it is before 1887. We had Janki Ammal, who was the first botanist of India. We have Dr. Indira Hinduja, who has been boon to the parents who could not have kids to one reason or another. We have Kalpana Chawla with us. Means she has been such an inspiring story for especially the budding girls, and who have read her story, who have gone through her life history, and who now can dream to be the part of ISRO and NASA to visit the space in future. And similarly, we have many more. We are having our Nilesh sir here, Dr. Ritu Karidhal Srivastava from ISRO, who led the Mangalyaan mission for us. Sudha Murthy ji is there. And so there is a big list. Similarly, from across the globe, we have Marie Curie, we have Chin Shiung, we have Rosalind Franklin, about which Dr. Kavita was also talking. We had Catherine Johnson, who has been such a wonderful scientist that her mathematical calculations were very critical and crucial for sending the first American into space. So we can imagine the brilliance which our ladies are having, which all of us are having, and utilizing them for the purpose of science, for the purpose of solving problem of mankind, I would say. And now, after this wonderful walkthrough of these wonderful ladies, my small efforts in addressing the problems existing around us, I mainly work in 3 domains. One is renewable energy, second is catalysis, and third is waste recycling. The first domain of mine, renewable energy, I am specialized in biogas. And in this domain, I have completed 2 major projects with Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, New Delhi. And in these projects, I have developed the processes for utilizing different types of lignocellulosic wastes for their efficient conversion to biogas, which is a very important source of renewable energy. Biogas, if we talk, is actually a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide, and in which methane is approximately 65% only. In these particular projects, we explored various categories of lignocellulosic waste, and Jatropha waste was the major focus of us in these projects. And we subjected these lignocellulosic waste and Jatropha waste to pre-treatment strategies, as a result of which the outcome landed in the enriched biogas with methane. Means if I tell you the pre-treatment strategies, 3-4 pre-treatment strategies we have adopted for delignification of lignocellulosic waste. And after that, when we subjected these wastes to the biomethanation process, the biogas mixture which we were obtaining was enriched with 92% of methane. which we normally obtain by a process which we call as the upgradation of biogas. And here are the pictures of the biogas digesters, which we have installed at our UPS campus. The central picture is the complete yard wherein we have various plants of various capacities of biogas here. This green colored plant is 40 meter cube plant, which we have designed on CSTR mode. Continuous steering tank reactor is this. And in this, there is continuous rotation, I would say, of the outcoming slurry of the waste which is coming out. And this is enriched with bacteria, which is further used to refurbish the biomethanation process. This is 40 meter cube plant, which we designed for JDOC, Jatropha waste biomethanation process, and that has been installed at our campus. And in these projects, along with the experimentation and technological part, we have also provided trainings to various people in the state of Uttarakhand for the construction of biogas plants, for the maintenance of biogas plants, and for the proper operations of biogas plants. And if I tell you the number, approximately we have trained around 2,000 beneficiary in different categories, including the government officers, through these projects. So this is one area wherein I work. Second area is catalysis. And in the domain of catalysis, I have done a very prestigious project with the R&D Center of Indian Oil Corporation Limited. In this project, we have developed structured oxide-based nanocatalyst recipes, and we have delivered them these recipes for the isomerization of lighter alkanes. And my chemist colleagues who are sitting here with me in this forum, they are well aware of the significance of isomerization catalyst, especially for refinery point of view. This is a very important reaction which is used to improve upon the octane number and the overall performance of petrol and diesel samples in our vehicles. And the third category in which I work is the waste management and recycling. If I say the biogas projects also which I have done, these also belong to this waste management and recycling domain only. However, the application area there we landed up to in renewable energy. Here in this particular field, in waste recycling, currently I am working on a project which is supported by our Uttarakhand government. And in this, we are working on the textile recycling. If I speak honestly, before I explored this area, I myself was not considering textile waste as a waste. And so is the situation with most of us today. Means we consider plastic as a waste, we consider lignocellulosic as a waste, we consider various other things also into waste. E-waste is there, hazardous waste is there, but fabric waste as on date also we are not considering it as a waste, but actually it is a waste. If we look at the numbers, tons of fabric is discarded every year at global level. And this tons of fabric, what is it doing for us? This is simply deteriorating at its own in the environment. It is polluting our environment, and the extent to which it is polluting our environment, we can have an estimation like it is contributing to around 10% of greenhouse gases. Means I can say that the global warming, which is increasing day by day, one of the reasons is this textile waste also, and which is contributing around 10% to this. So when I went through this data, then I thought that we will have to find a solution for this. And after exploring certain feasible manners, certain feasible techniques, we landed up into a very fruitful process, I would say, in which we are able to convert the cotton waste textiles into a very value-added material, which is of industrial significance. And I would like to mention here that this industrial material is such on which our Indian government is investing huge money for its imports. and as a result of which today we have become its largest importer in the world, and it is cellulose. And here I would like to mention that with the continuous efforts, we have developed a zero waste process for this problem. Means the waste which we converted this waste into the product, and the waste which was left behind in this process also, this waste we have converted into a good quality thread, and with the help of that thread we have prepared certain utility items, and this woolen jacket which is pictured here in the end is an example of one such product. So this is my current project which is going on in this dimension, and we are into the process of scaling it up. Here is my LinkedIn profile, which the audience can explore if they want to connect to me in any regard. And on this process, we have been granted the patent also. Now, being a chemist, if I see the emerging areas in chemistry include multiple fields, out of which I have put few important ones here. Computational chemistry is very important, bioinformatics, MOFs, and environmental chemistry. Nanochemistry, when we talk today, more or less, everything belongs to nanochemistry. Because whenever we go into catalysis, whenever we go into surface chemistry, nano is an integral part of that. So metallic organic frameworks, if I talk about this particular segment, these are such wonderful porous materials which can be applied for various applications, including catalysis. And catalysis is a very, very important field of work for chemists. Similarly, environmental chemistry. Today, our environment is polluted by multiple reasons. So as a chemist, if we can find out the solutions for them, that can be a big achievement for all of us. Computational chemistry is the need of the hour. When we are integrating everything with artificial intelligence, with machine learning, so it is able to play a role in almost every field of chemistry. And here, especially this molecular design, I would say is a very emerging field and a good field where AI can play a role. Retrosynthesis, where AI can play a role, means this can create a dry lab for us, where we can design our molecule sitting in our offices with the help of software. And this will, how can it contribute to us? This can lead to our reduced efforts, practical efforts will be reduced, our cost will be reduced, our chemical consumption will be reduced, and overall effectiveness of the process will be improved, because overall we have synthesized everything, seen its performance for everything in the dry lab. Now it will be easy for us to implement the same thing in our wet lab. So my one submission here to all the scientists who are sitting and participating here, that whatever work we do, in whatever domain we do, we will have to find out the solution of the problem. Today is the word of interdisciplinary system. We cannot sit into chemistry labs and we cannot work into silos. We have to be interdisciplinary in nature, but we have to find out the solutions of the problem. And being chemists, this becomes our more responsibility, means we are more responsible for minimizing the use of harmful chemicals, for maximizing the efficiency of the processes in a cost-effective and environment-friendly manner. Means with every work, whatever we are doing, my two submissions are always there. Number one, our environment should not be polluted. And number two, we should think of if we can reduce the consumption of chemicals, harmful chemicals, and if we can maximize the use of natural things and the waste things for recycling them and for their conversion to value addition, which can be actually a big contribution to the society and big contribution in achieving our sustainability development goals also, which have been agreed internationally by all the countries. So these were my views and my small efforts into science, with the help of which I am trying to But I would definitely like to say here that if possible, we need to organize these workshops, these seminars in offline manner largely, maybe in the smaller groups, because we are talking for gender equality. We are talking for catalyzing diversity in science, especially focusing on the gender thing. Gender bias should not be there. And I feel that we are the ladies who are blessed and blessed with all the requirements, with all the facilities and with all the opportunities. And we need to now motivate and encourage and bring those colleagues, those ladies of our society to the forefront who have not received these opportunities. And in online things, I personally feel that those women are altogether missing. So I believe that if we continue to work in the same direction with the involvement of especially those ladies who actually need these things to get motivated, we definitely will see a world very soon where we can definitely say that there are no women in science, there are only people. Thank you very much for understanding my points. I believe I could convey few things from my side to my audience, and I can be of some help to them. Thank you very much.
Surely, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts and works with us and illuminating our minds with a practical perspective in short span of time, or I must say in nano span of time.
Thank you.
Nilesh sir, can we please proceed for your address?
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll switch off the video because that could be creating one issue.
Sure, sir.
So are you able to hear me now properly?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes. So what I was trying to convey, ISRO being a technology intensive organization, still we have role of science in many of our activities, especially related to the development of various chemical polymers as well as the composites which we use in our rocket systems as well as various satellite systems. Apart from that, as far as women are concerned, as I already mentioned, we have a fair share of women scientists at all levels. In fact, we have from technicians to the highest level of PhD scientists. So all categories, we are striving for around, right now, we are struggling to maintain a 20 to 30% of women force. And the attempt is to make it 50%, as I already spelled out. Today, Honorable Prime Minister was here in Trivandrum, where we all are gathered together to unveil the 4 Gagannauts. So we call it the astronauts who are going to be our future astronauts in the Indian Gaganyaan program. So they are all male officers from Air Force. But the Prime Minister also announced that we should strive for, when he announced the Gaganyaan program, he mentioned that he could be he or she. So we could have a women Gaganaut also. So that is the attempt at which ISRO and of course Air Force and other forces are also working on. So that is the ultimate where we will think of a women Gaganaut going into the space as ambassador of India's in Gaganyaan program. As far as the new education policy is concerned, 2020, there also the emphasis is on research and innovation and the role of women in this research and innovation. So ISRO is trying to achieve all these aspects, especially the attempt at learning, unlearning and relearning, because many of the concepts which we study at our school or college level, when we come for applications, especially related to space technology and science, many of them needs relearning also, and you have to unlearn what dogmas you have. So that direction also we have been training our workforce, especially the women force, related to many of these aspects. And we ISRO had been a equal opportunity provider as far as jobs are concerned, recruitment, the 50% goal. So in view of that, we really encourage participation of women in space activities. And for that, we are conducting various training courses as well for as an apprenticeship as well as the project training at this college level. So there also we are encouraging a lot of participation of women. as far as the diversity is concerned, I would like to mention here that all of us are well aware of NASA. Similarly, people have started knowing now ISRO here, at least in India. But very few people know about Space Application Center, from where I belong to. That is located in Ahmedabad. It is the second largest center of ISRO. And why I'm mentioning this, because it is the most multidisciplinary.
Say, you are not audible. Your voice is breaking.
Disciplinary center, and as madam was mentioned, so Space Application Center at Ahmedabad is an example of. Am I clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So Space Application Center is one center which is having a multidisciplinary approach to various activities. So we have interdisciplinary approach. We have, in fact, our workforce, if you see, we have hardcore technologists belonging to mechanical, chemical, electronics, as well as computer engineering, as well as people from science stream as well, whether it is geophysical science, physical science, chemical science, or marine science, or biological science. So that way, a lot of diversity is there as far as our activities are concerned related to science and tech.
Sir, you are not audible. Nilesh, sir, you are not audible.
Technology, and we are encouraging more and more. And as far as I've already mentioned about at Space Application Center is embarking on Gaganyaan, which is the follow-on of Chandrayaan 3 program, where we'll be. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, please proceed.
So we are striving very hard for various activities related to science as well as engineering, and a lot of participation of women in these activities. So with this, I would like to end, because otherwise it is hampering your program. So let me thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity, and I invite all your women scientists and all of you to.
Nilesh, sir, you are not audible. Thank you very much, sir, for catalyzing the audience with vivid aspects of science and technology. As our third speaker, we have with us Dr. Vinod Tiwari. Dr. Vinod Kumar Tiwari is a distinguished professor at Banaras Hindu University, BHU, Varanasi, specializing in medicinal chemistry. He has completed his PhD in medicinal chemistry from CSIR CDRI, mentored by Dr. R.P. Tripathi. With extensive professional experience, he served as a guest scientist at Germany and as a visiting fellow at the University of California, Davis, USA. Dr. Tiwari's research contributions are highly appreciable, evident through his numerous publications, patents, book chapters, and books. Dr. Tiwari's research interest encompasses fields like organic synthesis, synthetic carbohydrate chemistry, click chemistry, and medicinal chemistry. Sir has served the scientific society with their extensive contributions in the areas and has supervised several PhD candidates and has led numerous research projects, garnering international recognition with awards like the Chemical Research Society of India Bronze Medal. He was being listed in the top 2% scientist ranking worldwide for 2021. Also, he has got Most Productive Researcher Award from Banaras Hindu University. Sir has received Excellence in Carbohydrate Research Award, Dr. S.S. Deshpande Award for his high impact contribution in chemistry, Professor R.C. Shah Memorial Lecture Award, Dr. Arvind Kumar Memorial Award by Indian Council of Chemists, Young Scientist Award by UP Council of Science and Technology, and several others. I would like to request Dr. Tiwari to please infuse the audience with your colossal knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ujla, for such a kind introduction. I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. And my slide is visible? I shared my slide.
Yes, sir. Your slides are visible.
Okay, great. So, first of all, I would like to say my sincere thanks to Dr. Kavita Sharma, uh, who invited me to present some of my work in this great occasion, IUPAC Global Women Breakfast, GWB 2024, and on the theme of the catalyzing diversity in science. So, I'm going to speak today on the one research which I did in Banaras, some part of in California. But before that, just you see this slide that these 6 women I selected for today talk. That the Dr. Marie Curie, she was the Nobel laureate twice, one in chemistry, one in physics. In 1902, she was awarded Nobel Prize for in physics, and followed by after 9 years in 1911 she was awarded Nobel Prize in chemistry, and we all are celebrating International Year of Chemistry since on 2021 after 100 years of the celebration of this Nobel Prize in chemistry by Professor Marie Curie. The another one is UU2, you know the name. She was Nobel Prize winner for the 2015 from the China. And Professor Caroline Bertozzi, she was Nobel Prize for the discovery of the click chemistry and bioorthogonal concept in 2022, recently, just 1 year before. And where we are working on the glycoscience, click chemistry and glycoscience. There is the area what is highly recognized since last 22 years, and recently after 20 years or 21 years, she was, along with the 2 gentle person, she was awarded Nobel Prize. And this woman scientist, Professor Tracy Thomas, Professor Thomas is well-known missile woman from our country, from the DRDO laboratory. And and the another one is Professor Asima Chatterjee. She was not a doctoral degree, but she was awarded. Actually, she was the first DSc degree in the science from the Indian University, and she is well-known figure in the drug discovery, particularly for the malaria and some other disease. Diabetes also she worked. And Professor Jai Chen from the University of California, Davis, she is a well-known figure in the glycoscience, particularly the sialic acid chemistry. And I very lucky that I worked with Professor Jai Chen for 1 year as a visiting fellow, California UC Davis system. So you know that Professor Dr. Marie Curie, she is a French and Polish physicist as well as chemist, because 2 Nobel Prize goes to her. And she was known as pioneer research on the radiochemistry. Radioactivity was discovered by herself. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the first one to win a Nobel Prize twice, and the only person to win a Nobel Prize in 2 scientific fields, that is physics and chemistry, together. You know the name of cinchona alkaloid. This is beautiful flower and known for the anti-malarial activity. About 300 years before, from the South America, Peru is one state, and there was one disease known as the malaria. Many people, many family members left the city because home because of this deadly disease. That time there was no medicine for the malaria. And then after one person, he was old person, he was not willing to leave the house. And after the forcefully, his family just kept him out, and in the outside the village, he felt thirsty and he took the water from the ponds. And after taking the water, he was totally cured. So this, after many people are going to have the water from the pond, and that pond was dirty, and then and they all becomes the relief from the malaria. After that, the message is spread, and this goes to the governor of the Peru, and he was he asked the one team of the botany, and they goes back to the village and see what the status, why the person taking the water from the ponds, they are going to be cured. Finally, they observed that a plant that is known as the cinchona, that plant is inside the pond, and that's why the compound which is water soluble there, and the people are taking the compound basically, and this is responsible to cure of the malaria. Then after the person, Peru governor, kept the name of this plant on his own wife, that is known as the cinchona. So then after the cinchona. At that time, people have opinion that botany is very famous because botany, chemistry was not developed that time, 350 years before. But I will tell one sloka in the Hanuman Chalisa, that is, Ram Rasayan Tumre Pasa, Sada Raho Raghupati Ke Dasa. Rasayan word is there, means chemistry is everywhere. Chemistry is in the center, right? Chemistry can't means botany can't work alone without the chemistry. So chemistry means chemistry, biology, chemistry, botany, chemistry, zoology, chemistry, biotechnology, chemistry, physics. So every field is in collaboration of the chemistry can do something good in the life. Then after several compounds, quinine, for example, isolated from this plant, and this compound is very useful for the treatment of the malaria. But that the compound quinine has one issue, that is the MDR strain, right? So once you have malaria, you take this medicine. Then after again, once you have malaria, then this is not going to sufficient to solve the complete cure of the disease. Then after in 1973 era, Professor Yu, again, she was not a professor, not a scientist, she was only M Pharma student. She isolated this compound from the plant, and then after she just used this artemisinin for the as an anti-malarial drug. She discovered this artemisinin and this dihydroderivatives. And in the 20th century, this medicine is used to saving the millions of the life in the several countries, particularly in the China, Southeast Asia, and Africa, and South America also. And after 2020, after 30 years of the dedicated research, in 2015, she was awarded with the Nobel Prize in the medicine, right, and physiology. And she was basically the first Nobel Prize in this category from the China. So you see the status of the and the impact of the women scientists in the research or invention. The another, the name already I discussed, that the Indian missile woman, Dr. T.C. Thomas, Director General of Aeronautical System, and she was the project leader of the Agni 4, right? And known for the missile woman in DRDO. Missile man, the Professor Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a great person, great teacher, and great scientist, a great human being. And she was basically the first ever woman scientist to head a missile project in our country. Asima Chatterjee was Indian organic chemist, and she was known for the investigation of the natural product chemistry. At that time, natural product was very famous in our country. Time after several years, now the natural product chemists are struggling a lot for the funding. I don't know the reason, but I skip here only. I will consider the scientific part. And she was known for the on the vinca alkaloids, development of anti-epileptic drugs, and also anti-malarial drugs. She was the first woman to receive a doctorate degree, DSc, from the Indian University. And you see these two gentlemen, Professor K.R. Bailey Sharpless and Professor Martin Meldon, they discovered the click chemistry, and that is a reaction which is very easy to perform in the laboratory. There is no side product that can catalyze the, or sometimes auto-catalyze, but they use the copper catalysis for the radioselective triazole forming reaction by reaction of the azide and alkyne, right? And Professor Caroline Bertozzi, she used the same protocol without any catalysis. The reaction can be done in a living system because of some biooctagonal chemistry concept, and that I will discuss in the next slide. Along with these two gentlemen, Caroline Bertozzi was awarded for the Nobel Prize in 2022 for the discovery of the click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry. Why not gentlewomen? Two gentlemen, Professor Carol Bradley Sharpless and Morton Melden. And this is lady scientists. Why not gentlewomen? Because women are always gentle. There is no need to give any prefix for the gentlewoman, right? So, and you see, when we synthetic chemists have seen any flower, we can't write poem on the flower because we have opinion that the flower contains hundreds of the molecules, and we are basically looking at the structure of the molecules in any flower. This is the Sadabahar plant, and the flower is known to cure the diabetes. So synthetic chemistry is not only the duty to make the molecules that nature made. We have also one duty that nature, we made the molecules what the nature forget to develop in the living systems. And that is one of them is what the triazoles. Triazole was not developed by nature. Even the azides are not the scaffold that nature developed. We use the azide and alkyne in presence of any catalyst. For example, the copper catalysis, it gives the regioselective 1,4-disubstituted triazoles. If you want to have the 1,5, you have to change the catalysis. Ruthenium catalysis, it gives the regioselective 1,5-disubstituted triazoles. So this was developed by the Professor Bertozzi, Melden, and Sharpless. Together, they will awarded with the Nobel Prize in 2022 in the chemistry. And Professor Martin Melden, what he did, he reacts the azide and alkyne in presence of the copper catalysis, copper iodide and diapia he used in the dichloromethane. And there is a regioselective 1,4-disubstituted triazoles, and yield is almost quantitative. In most of the cases, yield was 95%. And what the Sharpless did, Sharpless was one of the very lucky scientists in the chemistry, because he was the only person who received the Nobel Prize in chemistry 2 times. In 2001, he was awarded Nobel Prize for the Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation, and after 21 years, he was again the Nobel Prize in the list of Nobel laureate for the discovery of the click reaction. What he did, he used the copper sulfate, the same azide alkyne reaction. It gives the same triazole, but copper too is used in presence of the one of the reducing agent, that is the sodium ascorbate. And the beauty of this reaction is what you can put the water as a aqueous media for the reaction as a organic reaction condition. And what the Professor Caroline Bertozzi did, she used one of the highly strained alkyne. Because the compound is strained, then after there is no need of any, and this is unstable, and this is very reactive. Then after there is no need of any catalyst. And therefore, the catalyst-free organic synthesis triazole forming reaction in the living system, in presence of all the stuff what the nature has in our body, you can put the reaction in the living system without interfering any of the proteins or virus in our body, or they are not interfering, not interacting. This bioorthogonal concept was discovered by the Professor Caroline Bertozzi, and she was modified the protocol of the Wittig. Wittig was the second person who discovered the reaction of the catalyst-free triazole forming reaction, but he was already Nobel Prize in the list for the Wittig reaction there, and he was just put one reaction, one paper published in the stain promoted concept, and then after he again busy with the Wittig reaction, right? Phosphorus silide. The second paper, Schrödinger ligation, you see in 1919, he was Nobel Prize for the Schrödinger ligation, but modified by the protocol by Professor Bertozzi. What she just put one COE-OME group at the ortho position. After that, this was the highly stable compound, and the previous one, azide, it was not stable in the aqueous media. To carry out any reaction in the aqueous media, you have to be, the compound should be highly stable in the water, right? Therefore, the concept was modified: water solubility, water stability in aqueous media And this gives the ligation protocol, and the first bioorthogonal concept was discovered by the Caroline Bertozzi in the Stanford University, right? And she put all the reaction in what the azide incorporated in the cell, followed by the click reaction. There is no need of any catalyst because the alkyne is the cyclooctane derivatives. There is a fluorescent linker, and then that the purpose was to use the linker is to track the progress of the reaction out of the resultant fluorescent triazole. And this work was basically recognized with the Nobel Prize. So beauty of the Caroline Bertozzi work is what? You can put you can feed the cell with a modified sugar, followed by the incorporate into the glycans, and then after click reaction and resulting click product can be utilized, as this was fluorescent, and this allowed to track the glycans on the living cell surface. And Professor Jai Chen, my mentor, what she did, she is well-known person for the lady scientist for the human milk oligosaccharides, particularly the sialic acid containing molecules. Sialic acid are basically occupied at the terminal end of the sugar of the cell, and that's why they are known as the terminal sugar. And therefore, this molecule is widely explored as a molecular recognition in the living system. So sugars are very important. If you see the color of this red rose, the color exists because of this 2 sugar in the anthocyanidin, and the role of sugar is well understood. The second example you can see here, the thioglycoside in the shingreen. It underwent the similar type of the migration, carbon to nitrogen migration of the allyl groups, leading to the formation of the allyl isothiocyanate, which is beta test. And that's why you are telling that shingreen mustard oil as a kadwate mustard. And this was actually the same protocol like the Bertozzi, like the Hoffman or Curtius, Schmidt or Lassen reaction. The similar way, the broccoli, for example, green vegetable, they contains the thioglycoside, the structure is here. And this contains the similar type of the carbon to nitrogen migration, and sulfate is a living group. It leads to the formation of the sulforaphane, which is nothing else, the anti-cancer drug. So whenever you are eating the broccoli, you are eating anti-cancer drug. So you can protect yourself from the cancer by taking green vegetable in your diet because they are rich source of the thioglycoside. Another beautiful example is ATP, and this was again awarded for the Nobel Prize in 1997. Professor John Walker was the Nobel laureate for this molecule. This is the backbone of the building blocks for the natural product synthesis, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Dr. Subba Rao from India, he discovered the ATP as an energy source, but he was died in 1948 after 1 year the independence of our country. Otherwise, he must be certainly in the list of the Nobel Prize from India. And India has 12 Nobel Prize basically, now in the 13th Nobel Prize. So sucrose you see, but I already discussed this chemistry in last previous lecture when I did in some lecture, I don't remember the name, in the Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit. Ankuran, I remember the name. And therefore, I'm going to skip, but you know the synthetic chemist that sucrose went to the sucralose discovered by the Indian scientist, that is the Sasikant Fernandez. Accidental discovery he was, because Professor Leslie at the Queen's College London asked his student Sasikant that please test it. The compound was made for the insecticidal activity, but Sasikant understood that not test TASTE. He misled the spelling, and when his boss was in the office, he asked Sasikant, how was the compound? He told that it was very tasty, because he understood that to taste means test, but the PI was asked test for the NMR, IR mass, and other data. And this was the accidental discovery in 1976, the same year when I born, but nothing connection with my date of birth and this discovery. After several efforts, one compound is lobdunem, that is the 225,000 times sweeter than the sucrose. And if you have this compound only 2 grams, you pour this compound in the water tank of your university, and that is sufficient to serve the server to all the person of your student and colleagues. Vanilla ice cream, you know the name, and this compound is very useful for the ice cream. I like the ice cream, but unless until this sugar is not added in the vanilla ice cream, This is not useful because the ice cream becomes the lassi. This melts immediately. Therefore, sugar is there. Only one group changed from the meta to para OME. This compound is not useful for the kid. This is useful for the whiskey formation found in the oak plant. So these all examples clearly indicates that how the organic chemist is very important for our society. You see, this is the young scientist. This is the experienced scientist, but you know, the scientist has one special quality that other person don't have. That is the curiosity. Great discovery often happens by the serendipity, accidental discovery. There is a target, and this curious person is near to the targets because he knows how to get it. And the experienced person is already misguided in the year. So this is cartoon presentation of the. And then after you see many examples, we have worked in our department, our laboratory, many publication, many beautiful molecules we discovered in our sugar-based click chemistry and some part of the benzotriazole ring cleavage. One example, you can just go through the slides, and here you see the molecules which have the glycohybrid triazoles. They can not only use as a medicine, this can be used as a organocatalysis or ligands. And several examples we have published from our department, our laboratory in our BHU, from JOC, several JOC, and some part of the chemistry select and tetrahydrolator and other part. Microcycle formation you can do. Start from here, the sawtooth, one malaric tree, isolated from the malaric tree, deoxymuromycin. This is one of the beautiful compound known for the treatment of the diabetes. And start from the glucose, we can have here the olefinic ester, followed by Michael addition, then amino alcohol by reduction. Then misnevu cyclization, we have the glycosic agitation. After deprotection, followed by intramolecular cyclization, it leads to the formation of the bicyclic immunosugar, which is very good active compound, biologically potent compounds. This was developed from our laboratory exactly 10 years before. And once the number are very high, then the biological activity is going to be enhanced in many folds. This is one of the work which we are started working in 52 in the JAX. We modified the protocol and found this compound, which is the silicon-malabdic acid. We use that compound for the protection of the sugar and also the triazole forming reaction. And we are underwent to the writing of this paper for the. And beauty of this compound is what you can put the reaction, and only 2-minute time is sufficient. In not all cases, some cases only 2 minutes. You just shake the compound with the estanide formation. It takes place in almost quantitative yield. And then after you see how the sialic acids are very important. I already discussed in the Ankuran. I'm going to escape this part. And we use this part you see here the one compound, porphyrin then glycodendimer. This compound recently tested in the laboratory of Dr. In the IIT Kanpur and Dr. Nagma Parveen laboratory. This was discovered that the compound is very potent for the COVID virus, right? COVID-19 pandemic, and the IC 50.02. If you can compare with the previous Nature Communication paper in 2022 by Elstein, this was more potent than the earlier work. And again, we modified the protocol and explored the several core, for example, porphyrin and sugar core also you use, and benzene core, and some this part of triol core, and many other cores and dendons. For example, the this 1, 2, 3 scaffold we use. One of the compound is here that is 24 sugars at the periphery. That compound should be useful for the treatment of the cancer by using the photodynamic therapy. But we publish the chemistry part, and the biology part is still not reported in the literature. And then we explored the protocol with the hybrid glycodendimers, one sugar and one non-sugar. This compound again very useful for the sensing. And this is one of the glycodendimer having the 18 sugars at the periphery, galactose sugar. This is antibacterial compound, right? There are the 27 sugars at the periphery you can develop in a very utilizing way by the modular click chemistry protocol. There are 36 sugars at the periphery. You can use the click chemistry by convergent way, and you can have this compound in a very nice way. And DOTA, TETA explored, we have explored for the MRI agent. And 54 sugars we can place at the periphery by simple click chemistry explored. And these are two series of the compounds recently published in the organic material and seen open in whited paper. Both are in whited paper. This was actually appears at the journal cover page, along with the one Nature and one Advanced Synthesis and Catalysis. So you can do the modification either three ways. One, the sugars, we use the donor, and the sugars, what we use the linker, and then penultimate sugar. We can put all the three steps in one fashion. And we can have here the sialocydes library, 2 to 3 linkage, 2 to 6 linkage, and also we can have the 2 to 8 linkage, depends upon the condition what you are utilizing, right? The third enzyme. Reaction works well with the unnatural sialic acid, for example, deoxy sugar, azidose sugar, methoxy sugar, etc. We can have here the alkyne azides at the one core. We can click, followed by the enzymatic reaction, then again azide alkyne at the second two cores, and then we can use the intramolecular click reaction. We can have the macrocycle. That is very nice way we can obtain in a almost a quantitative yield. So azide alkyne reacts together in presence of the copper catalysis. It gives the 1,4-disubstituted. This work we publish in the chemical reviews impact factor, that 72. And this is our work, the second chemical reviews we published. This is the world longest paper published till today, 319-page long article in whited paper in the same journal, Chemical Reviews. And here the list is that we can have here the series of the sugar-based molecules published in our laboratory. One example, representative example I have shown here. Development of diverse range of the biologically relevant carbohydrate containing molecules, 20 years of our journey, right? So conclusion is very easy to draw, that click reaction can be used for development of the sugar-based and non-sugar-based molecule of the diverse application. Again, here you can modify the protocol, and the curcumin can be glycoconjugated by the triazole as a linker. This compound, after the deacetylation, is 11,000 times more water soluble than the parent compound curcumin. Because of this work published in the Nature Scientific Report, I'm editor of the same journal since I'm working as an editor since last year. Have here the several paper you see here. The another way we can have here the tetrasaccharides by use of the fourth enzyme CST2, and then followed by the another. If you repeat the reaction, you can have here the pentasaccharide. This compound is very useful for the chemical biology perspective. This is presumably the last slide, but you see here we can do the reaction in the glycon microarrays, and then here the terminal galactose, glycon backbones, fluorescent linker, amine group, and then we can have here the alpha-2,3 sialoside or alpha-2,6 sialoside, depends upon the enzyme what we used. There are 77 analogs we developed, and out of 77, 3 compounds were known to bind with the human virus. So I'm thankful to my team. Because of them, I am here to present my research work. This is one of the book. This is a group. I have 16 PhD and 8 are working at present in my laboratory. All are very hardworking. You can see that still they are working in my laboratory, in my cabin also. So we are small groups, but very dedicated group in BHU. This is one of the work which I will discuss when I will receive the opportunity to visit personally at the Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya. And this is one recent book, Synthetic Strategies in Carbohydrate Chemistry. Second book on the sugar chemistry, and this is the green chemistry book published by the 4 of my students, along with the Dr. Abhijit. He is a professor in the Mahatma Gandhi University, Motihari, and Garima, she is a lecturer in Bhagalpur, and Sanchita Rajkova, she is a faculty in Haflong Government PG College, and Garima Tripathi, and one is Anil Kumar Singh. He is my BSc student from DHU and now faculty in Mahatma Gandhi Central University. So this is one more book which is going to publish very soon in next 5 to 6 months. I think this will be ready because we have submitted all the documents to the publisher, Springer. This is the synthesis journal published from the Germany. We have I edited a special issue on the glycosines. 22 very nice publication. 22 from all over the world we have contributed to this one. So with this word, I am thankful to again the Dr. Kavita and Dr. Upender and Dr. Navnita, Dr. Ujjwala, and your all the team from the Shri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vidyalaya, Indore, for inviting me. I would like to congratulate you that we have selected such a beautiful theme of the event, that catalyzing diversity in the science. And I'm grateful to the previous speaker who presented well, and I learned from them. Dr. Nilesh Desai from the ISRO. I feel very pride that I shared my same screen with him. I have great respect for the ISRO. They make our country proud. And Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad, Honorable Vice Chancellor of your university, Dr. Sally Singhal, and Dr. Ranjana Agrawal from the Kurukshetra University. She's professor there and now director at the CSIR Nishkar. So again, I would like to say my sincere thanks to you all. And if you have any question, I'm very happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Proceeding further, for concluding remarks and to express a word of appreciation and gratitude, I would like to call upon Co-Coordinator GWB 2024, Dr. Venkateshan Jayakumar, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Science. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ujjwala Madam. Good evening, all. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion and to put all my gratitude into words. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. On behalf of SVIS, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Science, Sri Vaishnav Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, I am very much thankful to Global Women Breakfast Program Advisory Committee members and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank Program Advisory Committee members for their constant guidance and support to shape this Global Women Breakfast 2024 as a successful event. At the outset, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to resource persons, eminent speakers, Sri Nilesh M. Desai sir, Director, Space Application Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad, Dr. Vinod Tiwari sir, Professor, Department of Chemistry, BHU, Varanasi, Dr. Shaili Singhal Madam, Professor, Department of Chemistry, UPS, Dehradun, for kindly accepting our invitation and gracing the event, Global Women Breakfast 2024, on the theme, Catalyzing Diversity in Science. Sir and Madam, we all are inspired by your great words. No doubt, your ideas and all your deliveries will be catalyzed in our young students of our university and other institutions. I express my warm gratitude to Dr. D.V. Prabhu, Professor, General Secretary, ACT, Wilson College, Mumbai, and Professor Dr. Bridges Pare, President, ACT. On behalf of organizing committee, I convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upender Dhar Sir, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, for constant support as and when required. Honorable Professor Dr. Santosh Dhar Madam, Rector and Dean, FDS Sir, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to our Director and Head, Chemistry Department, Professor Dr. K.N. Guruprasad Sir, for minute-to-minute guidance and support, for providing encouragement at every point of time. Further, extend the sincere, heartfelt thanks to HYS, Head of Institutions, HODs, Head of the Departments, faculty members of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, delegates and faculties from other institutions. My sincere thanks to Professor Dr. Anand Rajawat Sir, Director, SV IIT, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, for providing us all the technical support we need. I take this opportunity to thank the technical staff members for providing their persistent support as and when required. The success of the event depends on the efforts of many people. I would like to thank all the faculty members of Department of Chemistry, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Science, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. I also express my warm gratitude to many people behind the scenes who have worked hard to make this webinar successful. We cannot even imagine the knowledge and novel ideas that will be generated and the relationship as a chemical bond that will be formed as an outcome of this webinar. Our hope is that this Global Women Breakfast 2024 will not only bring new crowns in terms of contents, but also serve to break the ice related to the theme in various disciplines. Thank you. Over to Dr. Ujjwala Madam.
Thank you, sir. Everyone is requested to please fill the feedback link, which is in the chat box. And you all are requested to please switch on the camera for a selfie. Thank you so much. Now I request everyone to kindly rise with respect for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Thank you all for your cordial joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Madam.
you, sir.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mamita. Thank you very much.